Nina. That's how I'm starting the podcast. Nina, it's been fucking excellent sharing a green room with you this festival.
I have so liked it.
Hasn't it been great?
It's been like a little altitude reunion.
It has. I think it's really important who you share your changeover times with at the festival, because that's your team.
That is they're your buddies. Mm-hmm. They weren't there, man. They weren't there in Fringe 24 with you. Have you ever had any shit changeover buddies?
Oh, yeah, you know what? Without naming names, I had somebody who, sometimes they'd be, really crying and that because they hated how it went, and I'd become a bit of a therapist for, 15 minutes, and that's not the headspace I want to be in before my set.
No.
And, I don't mind when people come off and going, fucking, I lost that one.
Yeah.
Right, and you can just offload, kind of on a level that you can just have an exchange with, but having to, console somebody.
No, that's above and beyond what's needed in a changeover, pal. You just need a bit of a high five as you pass.
Just a little boost. Somebody just go, it's a Tuesday.
Yeah.
It's a Tuesday. That's Everyone's enough. A bit tired.
And nobody in our dressing room does the kind of psyching out. That's what I really like about our dressing room. Mm-hmm. We'll generally talk about things how's the dog?
Yeah.
What did you have for breakfast?
Oh, and what a dream it is having Craig Hill in the other room as well, because even though we're not changing over with him, he's sharing the green room.
And if you don't know what Craig Hill only speaks in musicals.
Oh, it's so funny.
I love him.
You two do duets.
We do duets.
I feel like I should be Instagramming this, if I was a bit more proactive with my Instagram. The backstage, as soon as you two started backstage, because you just converse with each other.
Only through the medium of song.
But to the tune of Tina Turner. In every syllable will be on point.
It's I just came in a taxi, and I'm like, did you give them the tip?
Exactly. It's absolutely joyous. That's what you need. You don't want somebody crying.
No. Jim Owen as well.
Jim Owen.
He's another star.
And then Ryan Dixon's always there as well.
We love Ryan.
Craig's been on the podcast before, so a lot of them will know Craig, but Ryan Dixon is our who listens to the podcast, so I'm talking directly to you, Ryan.
I would say he's our mascot.
He's a mascot?
He is.
And he's delightful.
He's telling me, do people know who Ryan is?
He started doing Punch Drunk, volunteering for Punch Drunk, helping us with the boxing event that we did. So essentially just come along and help out putting out chairs, and we're we love this guy's energy. He's fucking amazing.
He's incredible.
And then he started working with us on the Punch Drunk productions, and because he was 16, he didn't know he was gay yet, but everybody knew he was gay. And then when he came out, we're we knew.
There were clues.
Yeah, there were clues. And he's just such a, he's working out here producing all of Marlena's shows, which is me, Jamo and Craig Hill, Connor Burns.
He's recently got gout.
He got gout. King's illness.
He thought he got it through vegetables, but...
I don't think you get gout from vegetables. He also tried to blame it on the mushrooms.
Yeah, that's what I was alluding to, but I didn't know whether we could see that. He thought he got it through. No. He thought he got it through a bag of edibles, and we were like, Ryan, do we need to have a chat? I think it's more veg that you need to be eating.
The fact that Kings used to get it.
Yeah.
Is it? Do you know what it is or not?
Yeah, so it's where crystals build up because your liver can't excrete them, and it's through eating too much rich food,
red meats, wines,
alcohol, all the good stuff. So peasants weren't getting it.
Nah, not Ryan.
Ryan is living like a king
of the gays. The gay lord.
The gay lord. We need to get in that on a t-shirt. King of the gays.
And he's not the only one to have a illness.
Oh no, this is so embarrassing.
You've just told me this.
I know.
And I was like, we're talking about this on the podcast.
Yeah, so it turns out I'm patient zero with, I found out yesterday, I've been getting all these little bumps and rashes on my body. So I went to the pharmacist yesterday afternoon, who was like, I think I can give you some cream for that. And then gave me some cream, and it's crabs. He says, I've got crabs.
Amazing.
I was like, how can I have got crabs? I've not fucked anyone.
You didn't even get a shag out of it?
I didn't even get a shag out of it. And now I've got to
Going back to your husband?
Now I've got to go to home and tell my husband I've got crabs. What, off a dirty towel? That old chestnut.
Yeah.
And now... Like, I don't think it's just me because, like, we've
Natalie.
been asking around and I have not shagged Natalie either.
Have you been shagging my wife? This live on podcast found out Nina Gilligan has fucked my wife.
It turns out I've fucked quite a few people.
You've given a few people crabs.
I've given Joanna, my mate that came up, crabs.
Yeah.
She's got crabs. Natalie's got crabs.
Yeah.
Jess, my agent's got crabs. It turns out I'm the sluttiest person in Edinburgh.
Why are these like, there's no diversity, it's all women.
I know. Well, it turns out I'm a late choice lesbian. Who knew?
Are crabs actually crabs? Are they crustaceous? Because like, I assume they're like lice, like scabies.
You know what? I think they do look like, under a microscope, they look like tiny crabs, but you wouldn't want to have them on a sandwich. I think like you'd eat quite a lot. The tiny microscopic little crabs.
Just nipping away at you.
Nipping
Is that
away.
what they're doing? Is that what's literally they're just pincing away at you?
I think that's what's happening.
Like Matty.
But I don't know where they go now because of the lack of the old pubic hair in women.
Yeah.
So
is that still a thing? Do women all shave now? Was that because of crabs?
Yeah, that was because I don't know. I think that was because of porn.
Oh yeah. That'll do it.
I don't. But now maybe we should just all shave to keep the crabs away.
Keep the crabs away.
Yeah.
Because I had scabies once, which is in the same family of.
Well, it could be scabies. That's the other thing. It could be scabies.
Because that was what was horrific about finding that out is that finding out that it's like the laying eggs that makes you itchy. So like the feces or something, a little fly buzzing around. It's just all of the.
It's after the crabs.
Yes. Little old lady that swallowed a crab.
I don't know why.
Then she swallowed the fly.
Swallowed a crab.
Then she swallowed the fly. It's the precursor. It's the origin story of the little old lady that swallowed the fly. The scabies it was so fucking itchy. And the only way I could, it was on my thigh mostly, that's where the nest was.
Yeah.
And I was like getting when you can turn the shower head into blasting into like a small radius. So it's coming out at a higher pressure and putting it on really hot because scalding myself.
So were you basically blasting scabies eggs?
It was boiled scabies. Boiled scabies, it's a delicacy in Blythe. Michelin star boiled scabies.
In an oozy jus.
I don't think that worked though, but the cream that they gave me, it wasn't even cream, it was like milk. It was like dabbing on milk.
Is that the same stuff they give you when you've got chicken pox?
Perhaps.
I bet it is.
Where you like dab it on a cotton bud.
I just feel like this is
not a cotton bud, a cotton ball.
Some people are going to find out tomorrow they've got like awards, but I came back with...
Oh yeah, that's the Fringe Award.
Yeah, we came back with crabs.
The nominations are Nina Gilligan, Patient Zero, Kai Humphries' wife. It's like, I didn't even get nominated for scabies.
We've lived the Fringe.
Yeah.
I know.
So you think it was from lit backstage? You think it was from backstage?
I think it was from backstage because, like, your wife has not been in my bedroom, but your dog has been in my bedroom.
Ah. Peggy. Peggy's got crabs.
Has Peggy been itching her food?
She's always giving it a lick. But you could have. You would if you could. You know, like, I never judge her for that. I was like, if I could lick me balls, I'd fucking give it a shot. I wouldn't get me ribs removed, but...
So, yeah, we think it might be here. So we've boiled the dressing room now. Everything in the dressing room's been treated.
I noticed there was new throws on the leather couches and stuff.
So we're all safe now. And I've been treated with the cream.
And is it doing better?
I feel a bit less licey.
Did you used to call it in school when kids had nits? Did you call it dickies?
No, we used to just say, what we would do. Oh my God, now you're asking me. But the knit nurse. Did you used to have the knit nurse? They don't do that anymore.
Did not have a rummage of the kids' hair.
No, they don't get you a knit nurse.
That would stick in our school.
Yeah.
Every year group had the patient zero.
Yeah.
That would be Dickie would become a prefix to their name because they were the first one that got it in their year.
Yeah.
So there was Dickie Allison in the year above. Dickie Carroll, they were actually sisters.
Am I now Dickie Ninny?
Dickie Nina.
Dickie Nina. Oh, that's
Absolutely.
Oh, Jesus.
And then Dickie Darren was my year.
Dickie Darren.
But it was just that whole fucking stigma that came with being the patient. You're Dickie Nina.
Oh, no.
It's a new Fringe title for next year.
That's my new show.
You got your Fringe show, Dickie Nina. But it would stick so much.
They don't have that now, though, the knit nurse.
Oh, so?
I don't know why they've got rid of it, because it was a really good idea. Because now, also, I don't think you get knits in Scotland, because my kids grew up in Scotland till they were 4 and 6.
Right.
Not a knit.
Nah.
As soon as we took them back to England, they were absolutely fucking hoaching.
So it's doing there?
Yeah.
Dirty Southerners?
Dirty Southern Catholic knits.
Mm-hmm.
They were fine up here when they were in a Protestant school. I think knits are Catholic.
Knits are Catholic?
Yeah.
Kind of communion?
Yeah. That's my theory.
Break bread?
Yeah.
That's what dandruff is?
Yeah.
The dandruff's just the breaking bread in your hair.
Yeah. Crumbling, dirty little Catholic.
I wonder if they stopped the knit nurse because of the bullying that ensued.
Well, no, because they used to do every child, didn't they? But then maybe because then they found the child, but they probably shouldn't have got the knit nurse to put them in the middle of the classroom and went, you dirty bastard, you dicky little...
They had a megaphone, didn't they? And they were just like, Dickie Darren! We now crown you, Dickie Darren.
It's probably a more sensitive way of doing it.
Yeah. Nah, there's no doubt about school that was sensitive like the previous generations, or was it? I think they're probably a little bit more subtle with stuff now. Holy shit! I remember me and a girl from school used to go into the school nurse to say that we think she might be pregnant as a wind up. I think our son listens to this podcast occasionally, so he might be listening. He knows all about it though. But it was only funny because I was the butt of the joke. Because have you seen how I looked when I was in school?
No.
Have you ever seen a picture of me? Because I used to do a bit of material where I talk about this exchange I had with my dad when I stood up to him, when I called myself the man of the house because he'd lost his job. He got made redundant, and then I get the picture out going the fucking man of the house. And the punchline is I look like a child and a paedophile at the same time. But just I had these the bigger NHS curly watts glasses.
Oh gosh, me as well. I had the patch.
The patch. Did you have the patch as well?
The patch.
What patch buddies? Did you have the patch with the prisms?
Yeah.
And the prisms would make it so when your eye's lazy and it's looking in that direction, it can see forwards.
Yeah.
But when people look in, the light refraction works the same way, so it looks like your eyes on the inside of your head here.
Yeah. I was a looker, ginger, braces with the patch.
Yeah, I made you buddies. So one of the more popular girls in school used to take me into the nurse and pretend she was pregnant to us. I was the butt of the joke, but I was fully aware of it. And I was like, I am down. I am down for even just this one person thinking that we've been fucking. Even if it's a scam, I am in.
That would have confused our Catholic school. They would have gone, on this point we might make an exception.
Yeah.
Get them down to the clinic.
Yeah. Oh, she's got crabs again. That's but you did break into someone's bedroom last night, didn't you? That was
I know, that was like I burgled a comedian called Eric Rushton.
What time of night are we talking here?
We're talking the afternoon. It was an afternoon home invasion.
Okay. So he was sleeping. Had he stayed up late, or is he just depressed?
I don't know. He's just depressed. I think it was like an interesting look into what every comedian in Edinburgh's bedroom looks like. I've never seen so many empty iron brew bottles in my entire life.
Really?
Not to shame him, but so I'd gone out into the shared gardens that they have at the back of tenements for a little ciggy because my son, who's flat, I'm not allowed to smoke in his flat.
Yeah.
What is wrong with the kids today?
Not even hanging out the window?
No. So I'd gone for a ciggy in the back, and while I was out, someone had bolted the back door. There's only one way in and one way out.
Oh, and that's like a closed garden where they keep the bins.
Closed. it's like a huge garden because it goes all the way down the back of the flats of that street.
But the only way in is through the houses. You can't get in through a side gate and go back around the front. So
tried that.
But somebody come in, put some rubbish in the bin,
It's
and then
like walking a prison yard.
Right.
With 8 foot
Just
walls.
a couple of Nazis just bench pressing in the corner.
Yeah, there was a man with a gun and a tower.
Imagine this is
searchlight.
Imagine this is your Shutter Island where like you're actually in prison.
Yeah.
But you're just in your own fantasy world, you're just at the festival.
Yeah.
You're just doing this festival, doing a show. Every time you go to do your show, that's just your 1 hour where you're out in the yard.
Yeah, well, this
they're your inmates that you're with.
Yeah. So this is basically what was happening. So I was doing me like 15 minutes of yard exercise, walking around, smoking my fag. And I go to knock back on the door, go back in, and this is bolted, like it's bolted. So I'm looking at all the other back doors, bolted. So I was like, fuck, I've not even brought my phone out.
Oh, so you couldn't even ring your son?
No.
Like, yeah, and knocking does fucking nothing because it's a tenement flat. So the doors are miles away from there. So,
like, I tried to scale a wall, and like...
No, you didn't. Right, I would have loved to have seen that.
By scale a wall, I mean I put my foot.
You're in all black now, like you do look like the dairy milk. No, not dairy milk. What was it again? What was the chocolate you delivered?
Milk tray.
Milk tray.
Fucking shit, milk tray advert.
So you
tries to scale a wall by going like that.
What would you have done if you got to the room? Yeah, because you're up a couple of flights, right?
I am up a couple of flights.
Were you just going to try and like get in the window?
No, I was like the garden wall. Like the garden wall, I could see that there was a road on the other side of the back wall. Mm-hmm. Like you're looking like so like you don't believe me now.
Well, I'm just imagining they just found your body just like on the floor. Like Nina threw herself out of a closed window
because she had crabs. She couldn't bear to tell her husband.
The crabs just start claiming your back. They just start breaking you down. Your body's not repairing itself anymore, so you're like decomposed by the time they get there.
They just find a pair of glasses under a mound of crabs.
A skeleton.
Crabs and some ginger hair. So I was like, oh no, I'm beginning to panic now because I've got a show to do. No, I didn't have a show to do, actually. It was like, they could have just found my dead body. It was Tuesday. So I goes back to the closed door, and then I saw this man asleep in his bed. I was like, oh, this is a bit weird, but I could just see, like, his feet sticking out from the bottom of his duvet.
Yeah.
I just thought, oh, fuck it, I'll just tap on the window.
Sleeping with the curtains open, just like a psychopath.
He was sleeping with his blinds up, like a psychopath. So I tapped on his window, and he sits up, and it's Eric Rushton, who's a
comedian who you've gigged with.
Yeah.
I don't think I've met Eric, but you've gigged with him a few times.
He's kind of quite mild-mannered as well.
Yeah.
He's not somebody...
Well, he drinks Iron Brew instead of Red Stripe, so that's a good sign.
He's not like, if it had been you, you'd be like... up on your feet going, oh, Nina, great.
Yeah, Nina again.
Nina's stalking me. I mean, it's a bit weird. Like, I don't know Eric that well. Like, we've gigged together a couple of times.
But you're not turning up at his bedroom window. I don't think we know that many comedians that well.
Yeah, they're in the garden, knocking on the window.
Not even the front of the house either, the back garden, which you need to get in. Because so let's get this straight. You didn't know he was living in the same tenement, and he didn't know you were living in the same tenement. So he just had surprise out of nowhere Nina Gilligan at the window.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And also, I should point out that I run an organisation called Get Off, which is...
It's about crabs.
which is about sexual harassment in comedy, and there's a lot of jokes that go around that I'm the sex police. So if I turn up at your window, you think you're on a fucking list.
You're on a list, are you the admin of the WhatsApp that Sloss was talking about when he went on the dispatches? Is that you? That's your WhatsApp.
Yeah.
You're the sex police admin, and you turn up at Eric Rushton's like, woo woo.
You have been caught. I'm like the paedophile hunter.
You've got your camera out recording them. Don't use any of the children's names.
I've got some questions for you, Eric. Did you send a dick pic? So I'm at his window. He's looking.
In his world, the sex police has arrived. And he's going through all his back catalogue of drunken nights out that he's had.
Yeah, here at the Fringe.
Yeah.
So, and this is kind of what my show's about. Mm-hmm. So his must be like, what the fuck is Nina Gilligan doing here? What have I done? So he comes to his window, he's struggling with his blinds, and he sort of opens the window and goes, what are you doing? And I went, I'm locked out. And he went,
of my house? Everyone's locked out right now. I put the lock on.
And he went, okay. Like, still not sinking in.
Yeah.
What do you want me to do, Nina? I was like, could you help me? And he went, I don't know. And I went,
what's in it for me?
Can you take me off the list?
Can you unblock me?
And I was like, could I come in through your house? And you're just staring at me like,
take your shoes off.
He couldn't work out how me coming through his house would help.
He's trying to figure that out. He'll be piecing all of that together when it's happening.
Yeah, he just woke up. He doesn't know if he's woke up.
Is this a prank?
He doesn't know if he's woke up. He thinks he might have been in a car crash and he's now in a coma.
Mm-hmm. This is heaven. Nina Gilligan wants to bring her crabs into my house.
I didn't mention the crab.
No.
He's probably got them now.
But he knew. You stood there just itching yourself. Just can you let us in, Eric? So did he let you in the window?
So then he's fiddling with his blinds. He can't work his blinds.
Mm-hmm. We'll notice that by the fact he's sleeping with them open.
Yeah. So and then bits of them are falling off and hitting him. And he's like, is that enough room? And I was like, at this point, I'm like, just for fuck's sake, Eric, get a grip. So
this is on you, this part. There's nothing to do with me.
Just let me in the fucking window. So,
can I smoke in your house? My son's been a prick.
And he was like, sorry about the state of my bedroom. And I'm like...
You weren't expecting anybody.
I just went, it's all right. Everybody's bedroom's like this. I wasn't. No.
Nah.
My bedroom's not like that.
No, mine's not.
So, but I took my shoes off. I don't know why I did that. I took my shoes off as I climbed through the window. I thought I was polite.
Mm-hmm. You actually did?
Yeah.
I said that as a joke. And it's that polite. It's just northern, isn't it?
Yeah. I took my shoes off, put them on his desk. And then when I got in to his bedroom, was just stood there awkwardly. And he went, while you're here...
Do you know about my charity?
He went, well, you're here. Could you show me how to use the blinds?
Oh, bless.
So I had to give him a little lesson in how to use blinds.
Just
like
how to operate things and how he's done his ironing. Put all his iron and brew cans.
Yeah, so I was like,
iron and brew.
Do you want me to do some tidying up? Do you want anything else you want me to do?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
You just leave the place immaculate.
Yeah. I'm like the opposite of a burglar. I just come round, knock at your back window, tidy up and leave. Yeah. So
got his internet working again. Just turn it off then back on again, Eric. I don't know why I didn't just try that. And anyway, the blinds, you're pulling that, you just twist it, you rotate that. Rotate the
I was
thing.
like, just pull it slightly to the side. It's just a catch. Just a catch. Yeah. So if anything, I think I did him a massive favour.
Yeah. He sorted his life out.
Eric can now sleep
and then
in the dark.
He went back to sleep and woke up in a tiny house and went, didn't need a Gilligan tidy my house. Oh, did I just sleepwalk? Yeah. Like, what happened? What happened with my day? I've had a couple of things like that. Didn't happen to me, but happened to my family. Right, my sister we grew up in the same childhood home. After I'd moved out, she moved into the bedroom that me and my brother had and shared. She had it to herself. She got the big room, and she's lying in bed and just hears a knock at the window, the upstairs window, and just knocking on it like it's somebody at the door. Right, and she just ran into my mum and dad's room. She must have been in her teens at the time.
That's terrifying.
Terrifying, right? And what had happened? So when my mum and dad come through and opened the window, it was one of my friends, and he was walking back from, I don't know if you know the area, but Cramlington to Bedlington, which is quite a big walk, and it was snowing, and he just had a t-shirt on, and the only people he could think of to knock on was where we used to live, to just go and knock on my parents, and nobody answered the door, and he was about to freeze to death. In fact, a fucking bleak subplot is somebody actually died that night in the cold.
What?
Somebody died that night in the cold on a similar walk to what Fen had taken.
Okay.
And
so it was a survival. It was like touching the void.
It was a matter of survival.
Yeah.
And they knocked on the bedroom window, and they just opened it up and just saw one of my mates just knocking on my little sister's bedroom window. What the fuck is happening here? And he's just I might die. He's just shivering. And on a similar note, around about the same era, there was one of my mates and his wife. They had kids when they were teenagers and ended up moving into the street that I grew up on. So they would have been probably this would have been probably when they were about 19, but they had a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old or whatever the maths is on that. So Janine had been on a night out and then knocked on the door, and Wayne didn't answer, and she was just but he's in the house. I know he is. I've been speaking to him, and she's throwing stones at the window and stuff. And she's fuck, is he dead? What's happening here? And she just went and knocked my parents out of bed, and they actually answered the door this time and got up. And my dad got his ladder and put it up to the window and went up to the window and knocked on the window, and Wayne just woke up straight away and just was Kev? Just me mate's dad, me neighbour, is just tossed, can't even see the ladder, just hovering like Superman.
You've got very tall.
I love them.
Have you ever done that way? I did this once where I'd gone into the petrol station and come out and got in the wrong car.
Oh, I've gotten in the wrong car before, but not at the petrol station.
Yeah.
Because that's even funnier.
Just just absent-mindedly got in the wrong car.
What happened?
Got in.
So you would have gotten in the driver's seat, right? Because you've just been driving, you've put your petrol in, you go in, and then you get in, but they were behind you in the queue.
Yeah.
Was it the same car?
Yeah.
Right.
Sat in and gone.
Completely different motor, different colour. It was an SUV. I had a hatchback.
This doesn't seem right. And then the person the bloke came out, he's like, what the fuck are you doing in my car? And I'm like, oh my God.
The key won't go in. You're just what? Because if it's the same car, then everything's in the same place. So the keys in the gear stick, you wouldn't have any.
Yeah,
and then you just look, and then there's a baby seat, and you're
I'm
my kids are 15 and 21.
This car's so tiny.
Yeah, I did it where I was waiting for my friend to pick us up, and he had a company car which was a Citroen Zara Picasso, the estate, and I was waiting for him to come and get me, and then as soon as he pulled up, I just walked down the thing, get into the passenger side, and it's my neighbour pulling up in his new car, which is the same as what we mate had, and my neighbour Ronnie just looked at us and just like, all right, Kai? He just got home from work, and I just got in his car. Just say, where we're going? Where we're going? Take us for a spin in your new whip.
I've done so many things where I've just been I had this audition for a voiceover, and I got there, and the women, just quite young people with interesting glasses in London, I walked in and just kind of confidently said, oh, I'm here for this, and they went, yes, go and sit over there. And I was sat there for ages, and I'd made friends with all the other people because I'm quite chatty, and it became apparent as I went on that I was actually in the cast of a Netflix film.
And you just joined the cast. Just casually. That's how easy it is. That everybody's just trying, writing scripts, coming to the fringe. Just fucking walk in, grab a seat.
I know.
Act like you're meant to be there. Bullshit with confidence.
I'd made friends with them all, I was like, so what are you doing? And they were like, oh, we're here to do a few pickups, we're here to do this. And I was like, that's so interesting.
Was it anybody of note?
There were some kind of famous-ish people there.
What was the show? Can you remember?
Oh, God, I can't remember now. But it's out on Netflix now. It's like a proper film.
Yeah.
And I was part of the cast for about an hour.
Yeah, got to know them.
And
you missed your audition.
Yeah, and then they came to tap me on the shoulder and just they had to say, and everybody was so embarrassed for me. It was so awkward. I was like...
Everybody was like, I thought she was with you.
Yeah, everybody was like, oh, so nice to meet you. Yeah, lovely. And they were like... Oh my God, you could feel the fucking cringe factor as I backed away from the conversation.
There's a world where there was one of the cast called Nina. And they just went, Nina, you're up. And you just go, this is my moment of shame.
I know.
And with no script, you just walk straight out of the set.
It was something like a zombie film or something. It was like a proper sci-fi sort of. I know. And it was like, they were like, what scene were you in?
Amazing. I did have a moment where I was on holiday with my first girlfriend, first holiday together. So we're both not even 20 yet, right? Yeah. And we're in Alanya. It's in Turkey. Antalya.
I don't know.
No, you don't. It's in Turkey somewhere. And then we're in the pool, and I'm sat on the edge of the pool, and she swims off. And then I went in the pool and swam after her. I opened my eyes in the pool, and when it's like blurry, but you can see.
Oh no, I know what's coming.
I saw the red swimsuit.
Oh no.
And I went, and when she stopped swimming at the end, I tickled her feet and got kicked in the face.
Oh no.
Right, and come up, and there was just this German woman.
Oh God.
And then my girlfriend at the time was just sat there on the side. She'd already reached the side, and she'd already got out, and with her legs like dangling in the water, and she was like, Kai, what are you doing?
Oh,
as if that was what I meant. As if that's what I set out to do.
Have you ever done that thing where you see, because I'm terrible with names, and sometimes I think I've met people and maybe haven't met them. Have you ever done that with a famous person?
Oh, I've had one moment like that.
Where you go over and you give them a hug and you say, it's lovely to see you. I did that with a famous actor in Glasgow. And I went and gave him a hug and said it was lovely to see him. And it turns out I've never met him.
So was he a famous actor?
Yeah.
But you thought it was somebody you knew?
Yeah.
Because it was similar looking, or
just because I think I'd seen him that many times on the telly.
Really?
I thought I knew him.
So you had a connection with him, and then you couldn't draw the line between the parasocial relationship that you've had. So you just went up to him like he was an old friend. That's like when people are like actually mean to the lad that plays Joffrey Baratheon, because they think he's actually mean in real life.
Yeah.
But you liked him. I had it before where I was hosting.
Has someone ever done that to you though? Because like, do your fans ever come up to you and just like they're over familiar?
They're usually really honest with it, where they let us know. I feel like I know you because like I know. Like there's been times where like I've been chatting to them and then I'll chat to Natalie and they'll be excited to see Natalie and realise that Natalie doesn't know who they are. But they're usually really respectful and know that it's one way. Yeah. But they're really like sometimes excitable about stuff, and I understand it because like, man, we're recording 2 hours a week. We've been doing it since 2016. We've spent hours in the company of these people. They almost have a right to be familiar with us because they know every one of my insecurities, they know all of my life story. Like they know more about me than a lot of my relatives because they don't listen to this. And we don't talk on the phone that much. So like I've got a nice connection. I've got an awareness with it, and like I think they mostly do too. Like they'll know. Like there's barely anything I can say to them that they don't know already. Yeah. So it's nice to just learn about them.
And I think it's sometimes like, because I'm a naturally very kind of a huggy person, or like I like to sort of connect with people. Yeah. And I've had that where someone will say, hi, it's lovely to see you. And I genuinely don't know, because I've done so many jobs and so many different things, where I know them from.
Have you ever seen anybody out of context as well, where you just can't place them?
Well, I used to work in probation. And I saw a guy in a bloody petrol stations who came over to give me a great big hug, and I couldn't place where I knew him from. I just gave him a lovely cuddle, and he said, oh, are we okay to do this now? And it turned out I used to supervise him Like, so we worked together.
Oh, so you worked together, so you had a very professional relationship.
Yeah, he was like an ex-offender.
But then you greeted him.
And he'd done something quite bad. And now we're having a cuddle in a petrol station.
He used to hug people too tight. This thing, he was like, was it Lenny or George?
Oh shit, I need to stop hugging
Yeah,
people.
I used to have that when I worked at the swimming pool when I was a lifeguard before I did this. And sometimes somebody you know from another part of your life, like you would play football against them sometimes, or there would be a window cleaner, and they'd come in their Speedos, and that's just a completely
That's bizarre.
That's a completely different person, that.
Yeah,
like, you know,
yeah.
and then you just hug them.
Is this awkward?
Now I'm wet, you've just got out the pool. There was something when you asked about, have you ever forgotten the name of a famous person or something? When we're talking about confusing with famous people, there was something I bookmarked to say. I was on stage at it was Red Raw, which is at the Edinburgh stand, where you try out new material and stuff. But every now and again, you'll get drop-ins off a famous face that are just getting that tour ready. Yeah. They're just doing a 25-minute fucking tryout of some material, right? It's always like unlisted, celebrity guest or special guest or whatever written on. It was fucking Dylan Moran, right?
Wow.
And I'm backstage and I'm chatting to Dylan Moran, and like I've watched him on TV.
I know, he's like been a hero.
And he doesn't know who I am or anything, but like he's getting to know me now. And I'm on hosting. And I went to bring him on, and his name just fucking left me head completely left me head, right? Yeah. And I got out of it like this. I just went, "We've got a special guest tonight. Does anybody know who it is?" And somebody had seen him walk in and went, "Dylan Moran." And I was like, "You're fucking damn right, it's Dylan Moran." My hands to get him out on the stage. It's like, fuck, the fear in my heart is I just lost it. Like I lost the name.
Yeah. But it can happen, like especially when you're emceeing, that can happen.
Yeah.
Like my show, like sounds like a plug, but my show's called Goldfish, and because I get memory loss.
Yeah, and you've got your goldfish.
Goldfish,
you can display it on the camera.
But I get memory loss, and that's like it's a massive fear I have of just like going completely blank.
Is it something that's happening as you've getting older, or is it something that's always been a problem?
So I've got like a type of migraine that you get memory loss with it.
Do you have blackouts?
So it's like aphasia, so it's like a word finding problem. So I can't retrieve words, and I do go completely blank, and then I just try and get round it. Yeah. But names are particularly difficult.
Yeah, you know what I clocked before before we started the podcast, you were heading us up about you broke in Eric Rushton's house. Yeah. And I was like, is that guy that runs gigs around Brighton? Who I was thinking of Eric McAvoy. Yeah. So I had the wrong guy in my head, but you were just so used to getting names wrong that you went, oh, I've got the wrong name. And then we Googled him. But even though you got it right, you just had the self-doubt because you're so...
Yeah, because I'm so used to being wrong.
Yeah. So how have you found remembering your show?
It's not a weird one. So there's something about, like, if you've learned a bit, that, like, so our club sets, they're so in your automatic memory, they're in a slightly different bit of your brain.
Like typing in a phone number?
Yeah. So once it's in automatic
a PIN number for your bank.
That it's generally there.
Yeah.
But learning new things can be a little bit harder till it becomes very much in your sort of automatic memory, like driving a car, you know, where you don't think about it. Yeah. But learning new stuff can be a little bit tough.
Right, because I always used to talk about that as Larry did it, you know, when Larry drives, you don't remember the drive. And you're like, Larry drove.
So that's
my autopilot, I called him Larry.
For it in there, where it becomes in your sort of...
Subconscious?
Yeah, probably. I think there's another word for it, but I can't quite think of it. But... like it's happened a few times in my show where I'll just come to it's like hitting a wall. You just come to a full stop and it's just...
What's next?
Gone. It'll be a word rather than a what's next.
Yeah.
And the word just disappears.
Yeah. I had that when I first come to the Fringe many years ago, but this month.
Yeah.
It's like that, the Fringe, isn't it? There's a time dilation.
Yeah.
The gig I'm talking about was literally 3 weeks ago. Yeah. It feels like a lifetime ago. Yeah. I lost the word philosophy. I was trying to say I like the philosophy of it.
Yeah.
I was trying to say that, and I just ended up using like 7 words to describe philosophy.
It's a little bit like that. But it happens probably more regularly for me than it maybe is happening for you.
Yeah.
So I play a little quiz in the show where I come up with, I read a list of like things that I've used before while I'm trying to get my point across. So I'm like a toddler or a fucking French exchange student.
Yeah, learning the language.
Yeah, where I say weird expressions because I can't get my point across. So I'll say like, I'm going for and it's gone, so I'll say I'm going to the wet cupboard. And what I mean is shower.
The shower, the wet cupboard. Because
it's just gone.
Just use other words around the thing. But then you find yourself being poetic. You get to be poetic more often.
Yeah, so you have to find a sort of, they call it a circumlocution, I think they call it.
Circumlocution.
Yeah.
I did on this podcast once where I forgot the word for altitude, like not the festival altitude, but like the, you know how you've got longitude and latitude, and then I just give up and went uptitude.
Yeah. So it's that.
Uptitude was the
that on the more regular basis.
Yeah, so that's just happening to you a lot. You don't have to remember the 2 times you did in your life like I've just done.
Yeah. It's more every day, and the kids and my husband will just like step in, and that just drives me mad. So it ends up like a mad game of bloody Guess Who. I'm just like, stop it.
That is funny with older relatives when they work through every name of every relative until they get to yours.
Yeah.
They're like, our Kevin, our Gavin, our...
Yeah.
And
I know,
then
you've done 5 names before you got the dog's name.
Dog's name gets in. So you've managed to remember the routines fine because that locks in.
Over time.
You drill that.
Yeah.
So the word just comes out automatically without you having to think of the word.
When it's in, it's in, and it's not too bad. But then it will just come to maybe word where it'll just stop.
How are you with? Do you ever compare much and ask the people their name and their job?
Yeah.
And then when you go back to talk to them, their name's gone. Is that happening a lot?
Yeah, it's gone. And it's really annoying because I used to have like a brilliant memory. So when I was much younger, I had a really great memory.
Oh, so it's actually a loss. Like you felt a loss because it used to be there.
Yeah, because I had a great memory. Like I did acting when I was much younger, and I could memorize not only my words but your words.
Yeah, so you knew what words were coming for how to react to them.
Yeah, and I had a great memory. So it does feel a bit of a loss.
Yeah, and is that so? The shows, which you've still got time. This will come out pretty much straight away.
Oh, lovely.
So people can see your show at the Fringe before it finishes. You're on it. You're on after me, so that must be
And I will have been treated for crabs by then.
You won't catch crabs from Nina Gilligan. Fingers are crossed. Because you might catch crabs from, but people can still catch your show if they're in Edinburgh. And it's called Goldfish. And that's the gist of it. And what does your Fringe day look like? Because I usually see you at approximately 6:30. And then we cross paths again at about just before the start of your show. But what does your day look like in the build up to your show?
Oh, it starts with it starts generally with coffee and cigarettes and me trying to break into people's bedrooms.
Nice. On a daily. It's just every day. That's why Eric sits up so slowly. He's like, Nina again. In our memory loss.
Yeah. I've tried to not punish myself this year in terms of having too much of a routine. I just I like to take the day as it comes.
Good.
Yeah, so I've been to see a few things. I've done a bit of shopping.
Can you see shows before your show? I know Craig Hill won't. He doesn't do anything but his show in a day. His head's got to be clear.
No, but, I'm not too married to that idea.
Yeah.
I've seen people because I used to live in Edinburgh, so
great.
So
you've had a nice social life while you've been here.
Yeah.
And because you've got a reasonably late show time, so you can afford a hangover.
Yeah.
Have you been?
I did a little bit of socialising. I'm not been mad on it. But we were saying this year.
We've hung out in Abattoir a couple of times.
Yeah, we have, and we've had a few. There was the Dave party where they basically spent a load of money to put comedians in a playpen.
Yeah, there was because it was Lane 7, so that's like bowling
alley.
I'm not showing my age.
We're doing it now.
Bowling alley, dartboards, axe throwing, crazy golf, shuffleboard.
And it was free. And hockey. They gave us free food, free booze. And that made me absolutely pissed. So the Liverpudlians, like Sian Davis.
Yeah, she's nice. I met her this year. Yeah, that's the first time I've hung out with Sian.
She kept going to me, Nina, there's free booze. There's free booze. And then all the Yorkshire comedians and the Lancashire comedians were going, there's free food. We should have brought Tupperware.
Tupperware the food up, take it home, lots of Tupperware.
So, and then there was just normal people who weren't going mad over the free booze and free food.
Because I was there, but I had my last train home was 11:45, and I don't know if you know me now, but I can go.
Yes, I know.
Once the fucking brakes come off, I'm just like, last man standing. I've got the birds singing in my night. Like there's gonna be the end of the session shit where everybody else has hit the dust and I'm checking empty cigarette packets.
Oh, brilliant!
I'm licking the bag. Like I really fucking hang on to the end. I started to feel that fucking person inside of us. Like I'm 41, man, but like I still felt that like side of us coming through, just going, this is it. This is what you play for. I fucking went and got my last train. And just doom scrolled on the way home.
To be honest, it finished at 1. It wasn't too.
But there's other places to go.
Yeah, there was.
I heard that Ryan Dixon got woken up at 6:30 in the morning by the cleaners at Assembly Bar.
And that is why he's king of the gays.
He stays out until the cleaners start. So I had one of them nights, but you know what? When I woke up in my own bed, there's a part of that where like I'm like the trade would have been. I had a couple of offers of like, you want to just crash then if you're staying over. There's a couch or whatever, and I had them. But even with that offer, I was a little bit like, but I'm going to pretend that offer didn't come because tomorrow I'm going to wake up in my own bed. I'm going to walk the dog. Like there's a couple of things. You're
going to be grateful for it.
Yeah, but next week, Saturday, we've planned it all.
What are you going to do?
There's going to be we're leaving Peggy at home, and there's a dog sitter that's going to come round and spend time with her and take her for a couple of walks and just leave her late on enough that when we get home, it's going to be fine. There's 4 of us, so we're just getting a taxi back to Glasgow.
Cool.
And we've got tickets for Masioki. Do you know of this?
No.
So there's a band on stage that just do banger after banger.
Amazing.
And the words are on the screen.
Amazing.
All the way. So you just go there and just fucking have a sing-along.
And where is that?
And that's at the McEwan Hall. Which I don't know how it's going to be, because every year that I've done it, it's been amazing, but it's been in the Spiegel tent. So it's been like, there's all these cabaret kind of seating booths. You know the Spiegel tent. And then everybody's dancing, but you've got somewhere that you can break away where your jackets are. And then you just have a sit and have a pint, have a chat, and then get up and have a sing and a dance, right? This is more kind of theatre seating, and I don't know who's going to be like sitting in a theatre watching karaoke.
It's not a watchy thing, is
so
it?
Unless they just like put the seats up and everybody's just in their rows, and then you can go to the dance floor and then come back to your row like you would do with the seats. But I don't know how it's going to be in the McEwan Hall, but I do have mushrooms. And I just think, if you're on mushrooms...
Try not to get gout, children.
I know, I'm just going to seize up my joints. So, I mean, there's quite an array of, like, everybody's got their own candy. You know, we were talking about before, like, weed isn't for some people. Like, it makes you...
Makes me paranoid.
Makes you paranoid. It makes Natalie stop talking, so she's not big on weed. But some people will be on weed. Some people will be on coke. Some people will be on MDMA. Some people will be on mushrooms. And there's quite a large group of us that's just like, well, this is the lane I'm in, but we're all going to be on such hellishly different frequencies. While in raked seating watching karaoke.
It sounds amazing.
So I mean it's going to be something.
Yeah, it's going to be something. You'll all be there tuning in your own particular frequency.
And some will remember it more than others.
Yeah.
Oh, I never get...
Some will be waiting for Pink Floyd, others will be waiting for something else.
I've heard, I feel like ashamed that I've never done this, but I've heard listening to Pink Floyd while on mushrooms is just like...
I've done that.
That's what the mushroom...
I've done that.
That's what the music's for.
The first time I ever took mushrooms was in Edinburgh, and we did the Pink Floyd full album experience on mushrooms.
Great. So was that at a venue?
No, it was at a house.
Just at your house?
Yeah. Because I was also told...
And did you have anything visually on? Did you have like a time-lapse video on YouTube or something?
No, we just did the sound.
Yeah.
And there wasn't like any massive like visual aura with it or anything. There was just like, it was just a nice...
Yeah.
Just a nice chill.
Because I found out with, I guess a misconception with mushrooms, if you've never taken them before, and you've only ever seen the like TV's representation.
People think you hallucinate and you don't.
Well, they think it's just visual.
Yeah.
There's obviously like in the
There's traces.
The hallucination isn't what people think it is either. Like they think it hallucinates. Like, can you see that fucking giant rabbit over there? They think it's going to be like just like a cartoonish thing in the corner, but it's like the world reacts in a different way.
It's kind of like it's time lapse or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like you get traces and things like that, don't you?
The big ones, like if you look at a laminate floor, it'll look like it's flowing like lava.
Yeah.
And then when you look at the tiles on the wall, they'll be moving. The curtains will be flowing. I like looking at rugs.
Yeah.
Because the rugs, the like cotton strands on the rugs, kind of just move like little wriggly worms, and it's not in a gross way either.
But I think it's a very gentle sort of thing. It's not mental really.
Mm-hmm. Nah.
I live in the greatest diversity of mushrooms of anywhere in Britain. So,
what, a tenement flat in Edinburgh?
Yeah, in Hebden Bridge.
Yeah, there.
Yeah.
So they like wild mushrooms, you mean?
Yeah, and have hallucinogenics because they. That's why we had a movement of hippies to where I live. The town where I live in Hebden Bridge.
Do you know what to look for there?
So the hippies came. Basically, it was like a mill town for cloth. Mm-hmm. And we've got these like sort of quite ancient forests in the crags, and they're like a great growing ground for mushrooms. So the hippies found it. Yeah. And then they moved in and started squatting.
They just hung around the mushrooms, direct to source, drinking from the tap.
And then the lesbian community came, and now we've got the greatest amount of lesbians in the whole of Europe. So it's like this cool little town in North Yorkshire.
Do you go and hang around with them?
What?
Do you get involved with them, just like you did with the Netflix guys?
Well, obviously I'm part of that community, so it's a really nice community.
So you go and take mushrooms in the field with the lesbians?
Well, I'm not going to say we all sit around taking mushrooms together. It's not like a big sort of, hey, find yourself a lesbian.
Because I'm just like imagining them just like camping out.
It's a big,
like a druid circle.
That goes on, but there's a big sort of mushroomy thing goes on in Hebden Bridge.
Oh, nice. I want to come.
Yeah, you were invited. You're both invited.
Yeah, can me and Natalie come and have a mushroom hangout with the lesbian druids of Hebden Bridge?
Yeah, you'd love it.
I'm in on that. I'm down for that.
Yeah.
Amazing. I think we'll wrap this up now because we've both got shows to do, Nina, but would you just give your show one last plug? Because we talked about it before.
Kai. So Goldfish is on, if I can remember, 8:40 every day, just after Kai's amazing show.
You could do it this is a double.
We're both on. Kai's show is on at 7:15. Mm-hmm. And my show is on at 8:40. It's
at the Subatomic venue, which is in the Just a Tonic. It's on the Pleasance Courtyard Road, but not the Pleasance Courtyard. It's just up the hill from there.
Yeah.
And we've got 5 gigs left. Or are you doing 6?
Oh, no, 5.
Yeah, you're not doing the Monday?
No.
Have you done that before?
Did, and I felt sad.
Fucking ruthless, isn't it?
It's terrible. And I had to do Big Value after mine last time. So
you were gigging on Tuesday still?
I was here till like 9 o'clock and I was just like depressed.
Yeah, I've been on a late start show that did the Monday. So I went into Tuesday because it was 11:50 showtime, right? And they were dismantling the other venues around us. Oh. I was walking through deconstruction. Oh. In my audience, we're walking through deconstruction to get into the venue, and I was like, "Why am I still at the Fringe? Yeah. It's been over for ages." I felt like I was post credits. Oh, the credits have rolled, and I'm just there like a fucking Marvel movie.
Yeah, it's great.
So no Monday. Gareth War's doing Monday. If you're looking for something on the Monday and you don't want the Fringe to end, go see Gareth War because he fucking loves it. Let's wrap this up there. What a lovely chat. Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers, Ron.
Thank you.